Hello mga students, good morning, good afternoon, good evening sa inyong lahat. Let's have another audit case to analyze, to assess. So ito po ay comprehensive din in the sense that we do not only limit our discussion to audit of PPE, but to audit of intangibles as well. Ano? So we have the following transactions that transpired for the year 2024, no? Considering the case of our audit client, XYC Company. Okay? So, assess po natin basahin po natin paisa-isa lahat ng mga transactions na nangyari sa company from January until the end of the year. And we have additional information here. And later on, let us find out what are the requirements kasi hindi na po kasya dito sa ating presentation. Okay. On January 2, nagbayad po ng legal fees amounting to 450,000 and stock certificate costs of 249,000 to complete organization of the corporation. So this is the first year of operation. Meron mga binayaran na mga halaga para makapag-start up ng corporation. On January 5, bumili ng real property for 5,026,000 na nakapaloob din dito sa amount na ito yung 146,000 representing property tax for 2024. Na in advance na yung payment, no? Kaya sinabi dito that had been prepaid by the vendor. 20% of the purchase price is applicable to land and the balance is applicable to the building. Because what was acquired is a real property basket price po itong halaga na ito, no? And inclusive also of the property tax. In the acquisition of this real property, nagkaroon ng obligation na a mortgage was assumed amounting to 3 million and the balance was paid in cash. So cash was paid for the balance. The building is estimated to be useful for the next 10 years. Okay. Come January 15, what happened? Yung garahe in the rear of the building pertaining to January 5 transaction, yung real property, di ba meron tong building, may portion for the garage na dinemolish and a proceed of 36,000 was recovered on the disposal of kung ano man yung mga pwedeng maibenta doon sa garahe na yon. XYZ started to construct a warehouse costing 530,200, which is 70,000 less than the average bids made by other contractors. Okay. Pagdating ng February 8, nag-hire ng clown si XYZ to stand in front of the corporate office for 2 weeks and ano tong hound? It should be handout, no? And the handout, yan, pamphlets and candy to create goodwill for the new entity. Ang bayad doon sa clown ay 30,000, samantalang yung mga pamphlets at yung mga candy ay nagkakahalaga ng 15,000. Okay. Pagdating ng April 1, patented a newly developed process na nagkakahalaga ng mga sumusunod. Legal fees para i-obtain yung patent, 1,287,000. The application, okay, patent application and licensing fees amounted to 190,500. The estimate is that after 5 years, other companies, mga competitors will be able to develop improved processes. Therefore, magiging obsolete na yung process na in-apply ng patent at na-aprobahan. Okay. May 1. Acquired both a license to use a special type of container and a distinctive trademark to be printed on the container. Kapalit ng 18,000 shares of XYZ's no par ordinary share, selling for 50 pesos per share. The license is worth twice as much as the trademark, both of which may be used for 4 more years. Okay? June 30, anong nangyari? XYZ Company completed the construction of the warehouse. Meron ba tayong kinonstruct? Yes, yung January 15. So merong construction na ginawa doon natapos after ilang ano to, ilang buwan ito? Kung January 15, okay, January, February, March, April, May, June. So kulang-kulang 6 na buwan, 5 months and 15 days. If tama yung aking computation, Upon completion, city inspectors ordered extensive modifications to the building. Bakit daw? Meron palang non-compliance ito si XYZ company, resulting to modification requirements by city inspectors. Bakit? Kasi meron silang hindi nasunod sa building code in terms of safety, So the modification would cost them 58,300. In terms of the warehouse, depreciation will begin the following month. Okay? Kasi katapusan ng June, ito natapos eh. July 1, constructed. Tapos na yung construction ng warehouse. Dito naman tayo sa construction ng shed for 3,930,000 to house prototypes of experimental models to be developed in future research projects. Okay. And then, come August 15, XYZ again contracted for the construction of parking lots and waiting sheds at the cost of 348,600 and 63,750 respectively. The work was completed and paid on October 15. Okay? And by the end of the year, nag-incur ng mga salaries for an engineer and chemist involved in product development totaling 750,000. Additional information. Per company policy, depreciation starts on the month of acquisition when the asset becomes available for use. So kung in-acquire, kung kailan yung month na yon, okay, doon yung start ng depreciation. Kung sakali man, although hindi dito given, hindi siya, expressly stated, pero kung this is a constructed asset, kung kailan na kompleto, on the date of completion, kung anong buwan yon, that is when the asset will become available for use. On that month, a full month depreciation is made kahit na yung asset becomes available at a later day of the month. Except dito sa nangyari sa June 30, kasi nakumpleto yung construction, katapusan na, nagkaroon dito ng desisyon na sige na nga, mag-start na lang tayo ng depreciation the following day. Okay? On the month of July na. Okay? However, company policies dictates that usually you have to depreciate full month. Okay? Unless nagkaroon ng mga discussions na ganito, i-depreciate natin sa susunod na lang kasi katapusan na. Alright. What else? The same applies daw for amortization of intangibles. The following are XYZ's guidelines for estimated lives of these assets. For building, 25 years. For land improvements, 10 years. For machineries and equipment, 10 years. Furniture and fixtures, 5 years. And other property and equipment, 5 years. For patent, 20 years. For trademark, 10 years pero renewable indefinitely. License and franchise, based on contract, and then generally renewable. So ito po yung policy na sinusunod ni XYZ Company in the determination of magkano ba dapat yung ide-depreciate ko for this year. Okay, now, what are the requirements? So the requirements in this case ay una, i-determine yung balances initially recognized for each transactions. And then, determine the year-end balances. So, ibig sabihin, if we are to determine the year-end balances, we have to compute for the depreciation expense for the year. Okay? And then, compute the amount taken to profit or loss. Okay. So, let us analyze the transactions that transpired for each month, no, for the applicable transaction date, and assess, no, saan natin ito ika-classify. Okay. I have prepared the solution guide dito. Yun nga lang, hindi natin makikita ito ng buo, no? Kasi sobrang flooded with information. So, akyat baba na lang tayo from time to time. Now, allow me to share with you the solution. Okay, let us begin with January 2. So, ang ginawa ko po dito, naglista ako land, building, land improvements, construction in progress, patent, trademark, license, other items. Ano ang nangyari sa January 2? Meron po tayong mga organizational expense. No? If you are to revisit January 2, nagbayad ng legal fees, 450, and stock certificate cost amounting to 249. Pag kinumbine mo yan together, 450 plus 649, that will amount to 699,000. That is considered as organizational expense or organization expense taken to profit or loss. Okay. Now, pagdating ng January 5, bumili ng real property, 5,026,000. Yun nga lang, inclusive of this amount ay 146,000 representing property tax na prepaid. Plus, pa-take note po na property tax will be taken to profit or loss. That is a property tax considered as an expense. So, tanggalin mo siya dyan sa 5,026,000. So, if you remove 146,000 doon sa 5,026,000, edi ano yan, 4,880,000 ba? If my calculation is correct, no? So, assuming that is the amount, 4 million, ano yan, 880,000, assuming that is correct, no? O sige, wait lang, maglabas na nga ako ng calculator para certain tayo ano, as to the computation. 5 million 26 minus 146, 4,880,000. Eh sabi dyan, 20% applicable to land, the balance applicable to the building. Therefore, prorate natin sila. 976,000 will be the 20%, while the 80% is the 3,904,000. Pag pinagsama mo yan, yan po yung 4,880,000. Okay? Tapos, yung property tax na 146,000 ay taken to profit or taken to P&L. Okay? So, nagkaroon ka dito ng tatlong accounts, land, building, and then property tax. Okay. January 15. May na-demolish, no, na mga garahe in the rear of the building. Merong proceeds, no, na natanggap 36,000. Recovered on the disposal, kung ano man yung mga nabenta dyan. And then, XYZ started to construct a warehouse costing 530,200, which is 70,000 less than the average bids made by other contractors. So if you will see in the solution guide, no, yung amount na yon, yung 530,200, nilagay po muna natin dito sa construction in progress. Okay? The CIP is part of your PPE. Yun nga lang, binubukod natin ito kasi pag construction in progress, hindi pa po gawa kung ano man yung kinoconstruct. And when it is not yet available for use because the construction is still ongoing, you do not depreciate the CIP. But later on, once the construction is completed, we will have to remove it from the CIP account, transfer natin sa appropriate account, in this case, the building. And then, depreciation will begin. So for the meantime, on January 15, nag-umpisa pa lamang po tayo ng construction, tigil muna tayo wag muna tayo mag-depreciate. Kaya natin ito nilagay. Now, for the 36,000, we consider it as a miscellaneous income. Pa-take note po nito because we have PIC. Nagkaroon po tayo ng yung Philippine Interpretations Committee back in 2012. Nagkaroon ng actually hindi pala yun this is ang tinutukoy ko pala is in relation doon sa mga purchase ng mga land and building, and then later on i-demolish yung building. Okay? Ina-allocate po natin 'yan, and then later on for the construction of new building, yung cost ng demolition ay i-charge mo doon sa new building. Okay. Etong 36,000, kapag nagkaroon ng mga proceeds, hindi po natin yan ninineto, hindi natin ito dinideduct doon sa total cost ng building na i-construct natin. Kung hindi, taken ito to P&L as miscellaneous income. Okay? So, because in the past, this 36,000 will be deducted doon sa building. Binabawas to arrive at the net amount. Pero hindi po. This is a separate item. Yung 36,000 is taken to profit or loss as a miscellaneous income. Okay? Pa-take note po nito, Now, moving on. February 8, nag-hire ka ng clown to stand in front of the corporate office. Okay? Class, these are considered advertising expenses. Okay? You advertise, ini-introduce mo yung company mo, so yung 45,000 will be taken to P&L as advertising cost. Ito po yan. Okay? 45K. Now, pagdating naman ng April 1, merong kang in-apply na patent, So the legal fees to obtain the patent application and licensing fees, these are both considered to be part of your patent. So 1287 plus 190, 500, this will amount to how much? 1477, 500. Okay? So yan Next, anong susunod? May additional information pala dito The estimate is that after 5 years the process will become obsolete. This will have an impact to the computation of your amortization expense because one of the requirements is to compute for the year-end balances. Siyempre, we are talking about intangible assets dito, costless accumulated amortization and any impairment losses. So it will have an impact in the computation of the amortization expense. Okay, pero balikan natin yan later on. Pagdating ng May 1, bumili ng license, acquired both a license and a distinctive trademark. Okay? Pero exchange, ang kapalit ay shares of stocks. Ang market share, okay, or I mean market price, selling at 50 pesos per share, binenta mo 18,000, or ibinigay mo kapalit nung binili mo or inacquire mo na license and trademark, edi 18,000 times 50, magkano yan? That will be around 900,000. Sabi dito, yung license is worth twice as much as the trademark. So, trademark is 1/3, license ay 2/3. And magagamit parehas sila for the remaining 4 years. In this case, ito po yung estimated, yung remaining life. We will ignore itong available dito na information as to the trademark, as to the license and franchise So we will follow what is given. Okay. So that's for May 1. Kaya nga, pag tinignan po ninyo dito sa solution, 300 kay trademark, license is 600, Kasi 1/3, 2/3. 18,000 times 50. Okay. June 30, anong nangyari? XYZ completed the construction of the warehouse. So, ang tinutukoy lamang po dito, is i-reclassify na natin, tatanggalin mo na sa CIP, ililipat mo na sa building, but please take note of the depreciation, Hindi ka magde-depreciate in the month of June, umpisa ka na lang ng July. Okay? But there is an additional information as to the modification expenses. Kasi may failure to comply with the building safety code, So, etong 58,300 will be charged to repairs. So, repairs and maintenance expense mo ito. Bakit? Eh, hindi ka sumunod eh, pasaway ka. So, nagkaroon ka tuloy ng additional cost, no? Wala kang ano no, choice kung hindi sumunod kasi city inspectors yan. Otherwise, baka ma-revoke ang iyong city ano no, licenses, yung mga permits, okay? To operate. All right. Pagdating ng July 1, mayroong pinatayong shed, okay, to house prototypes. Wala namang nasabi information kung kailan natapos, so we assume that this is still ongoing. So, wag mo munang ilipat sa building, i-assign muna natin yan under construction in progress or CIP account. Now, pagdating ng August 15, baba lang natin ng konti para kita na rin yung solution. Pagdating ng August 15, XYZ contracted, di ba? For the construction of parking lots and waiting sheds. Class, this will be considered as land improvements. So yung 348,600 plus yung 63,750. Okay, tignan natin, double check natin yung computation. So amounting to 412,350. For August 15, lagay mo muna yan ng CIP. Okay? Naka-accounts payable yan, ano, kasi hindi pa nababayaran. And then later on, debit accounts payable, credit to cash, pagdating ng October 15. Okay? Kaya dito, mapapansin ninyo, August 15, nasa CIP. October 15, may separate entry tayo, reclassification. From CIP, lipat mo sa land improvements. Okay? Now, December 31, incurred salaries for an engineer and chemist. These are considered research and development. So R&D yan. Okay. Now, to answer the first question, magkano yung balance initially recognized for each transactions? Ato, no? Kaya ginanito natin siya para total na lamang po tayo, no? So the land, the initial measurement of the land is 976,000. The building is 4,434,200. As to land improvements, 412,350. For CIP account, yung natira, yung 3,930,000. Kasi nag-offset yung 530,200, naging zero yan kasi nireclassify, and so with the 412,350. Patent is 1,477,500, trademark 300, license 600,000. Okay, now we have to compute the depreciation and amortization. Accumulated depreciation and accumulated amortization for the year, na first year of operations. So, syempre, pag inassess mo yan dito, yung January 2, wala po tayong related depreciation or amortization kasi organization expense yan. Pagdating ng January 5, meron pertaining to the building. Land is not depreciable. Okay? Property tax hindi. No? So dito tayo. 3,904,000. Okay. Tignan po ninyo ito, no? 3,904,000. Yung accumulated depreciation is ano yan? 1 year. Bakit? Ang sabi dito sa problem, i-depreciate ito, no? Magagamit ito for the next 10 years. So, yun yung remaining useful life. E di 3,904,000 divided by 10. Eh, January 5 ito. So, depreciate mo yan full month sa January. Eh, di isang taon na yan. Okay? Now, by the way, no, itong property tax, ang ginawa po dito is, assuming, no, initially, in-expense mo na ito. Pagdating ng December 31, wala ka naman ng issue dyan kasi for the year, naka-prepay naman na. So kahit na expense method ka doon sa accounting for prepayments, wala na tayong adjustment na gagawin kasi napakinabangan mo na yun ng buo. Okay? So segue ko lang itong property tax. Kasi sir, ano ba yan? Prepaid tax ba yan? Or property tax expense sa P&L? Okay? Now, going back. January 15, meron ba? Wala pa kasi nasa CIP yung affected at saka yung isa miscellaneous income. February 8, wala din kasi advertising yan. April 1, meron, patent. Okay? Yung nabili natin or hindi, yung in-apply mo, no? 1,477,500. So, papaano yung computation nitong amortization expense or yung accumulated amortization? Ang sabi dito sa problem, magagamit mo ito for 5 years kasi after 5 years magiging obsolete. So, yung 20 years talaga dito will not apply sa policy ng company. Kaya dito ang mangyayari, yung 1,477,500 divide mo ng 5 years para makuha yung annual amortization. April yan. So, April, so January, February, March. So, tanggalin mo yung 3 months. So, times 9 over 12. Ito yung kakalabasan. Okay? Pagdating sa May, ang affected naman is the trademark and license, so amortization. Pero, ito, 4 years naman per information, di ba? Sabi dito, mapapakinabangan mo ito for 4 years. So, divide mo ng 4. Okay? Kaso May siya. Di meron kang January, February, March, April. So, 8 months na i-depreciate or i-amortize. So, 900,000. Pinagsama ko na itong dalawa, no? Okay? Divided, although syempre, separate natin i-account yung amortization expense and the accumulated amortization. Yung isa pang trademark, yung isa pang license. Pero since total lang naman yung tinatanong dito, so pinagsama na natin. 900 divided by 4 times 8 over 12, so that is 150,000. 50K dyan pang trademark, 100,000 pang license. Okay? For June 30, syempre yung repairs and maintenance not affected. CIP, syempre na-reclassify na natin papuntang building. So yung building will start depreciating. Okay? So papaano yon? June 30, ano? Eto, constructed. So therefore, the 25 years per company policy will apply. So yung 530,200, wag mo nang hanapan ng residual value, wala namang binigay sa information. So assume that the residual value is 0. Okay, so 530,200 divided by, okay, magkano? 25 years. Okay, tama ba? 530,200 yung total nito. Ano nga ito? June 30. Coming from, teka lang ha, double check lang natin. Ayun, given naman. Tama naman. Okay, so 530,200 divided by 25 years. July ang start ng depreciation, so half year, 10,604. Rounded off na po ito sa nearest peso. So yan yung accumulated depreciation, 6 months, no? July 1, no effect kasi CIP yan. August 15, ganun din, CIP. Pero pagdating ng October 15, nilipat mo na sa land improvements, yung land improvements 10 years. So dito, makikita mo, yung 412,350, divide mo ng 10 years, tapos October, November, December. Kasi October 15, so 3 months i-depreciate. Okay? So, ito yung accumulated depreciation mo for this item, yung land improvements. R&D, wala. Depreciate, okay. Itong sumunod is yung simple yung total nitong accumulated depreciation and amortization. Pinagsama natin ito. But the total accumulated depreciation is 411,313, whereas the accumulated amortization is 371,625. Okay? So, to answer the question number 2, determine the year-end balances. Land remain, kasi non-depreciable. For building, yung 401,004 represents ito, no? Linyahan nyo lang, hanapin niyo yung sa building. So, etong dalawa. Okay? So, 4,434,200 minus 401,004, that is 4,033,196. Ito naman, no, pang land improvement. Okay? So, ito yung answer. 402,041. CIP remains kasi hindi natin yung dinedepreciate. Patent. Okay? For patent, ayun, yung na-compute natin kanina, So the year-end balance, yung carrying amount is 1255875. And then yung 150 na breakdown ko, 50 to trademark, 100 to license. So 250 kay trademark, 500 kay license. Okay? Now, to answer the third question, compute the amount taken to profit or loss. Oh, meron tayong isang income item ha, 36,000. Baka i-add ninyo. The remaining are expense items. Yung organizational expense, yung property tax expense, yung advertising cost, yung repairs and maintenance, yung R&D, and then the total depreciation and amortization. So, pag pinagsama-sama po ninyo yan, that amounts to 2481,238. Okay? So, ayan po ang comprehensive audit case natin for this, considering yung mga transactions, analyzing these transactions, and eventually computing for the year-end balances, yung carrying amount nila. So, I will now end the session. Let me know if you have any questions. Sana nakatulong po itong ating comprehensive na analysis nun, itong audit case na ito. Maraming salamat. I'll now end this recording. Thank you and bye-bye.